Hey everyone, and welcome to AMC Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. I'm Chrisley Kennedy, and this is the show where we bring you the day's biggest movie news, and of course we give you insight into what it all means. Joining me as always is AMC Movie News Senior Editor, Mr. John Campea.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the internet, coming to you live from the Stream.tv studios here in Hollywood, California. It's a Godzilla kind of day.
And we're just going to pretend that John's best host comment yesterday didn't even happen.
Best looking host.
Didn't even happen. We also have AMC's production manager, Dennis Sen.
Hey guys, I saw Godzilla for the second time yesterday, and then I went over to Schnepp's little birthday thingy, and that was a lot of fun. Right on.
We also have AMC's very own Miri Jetikin.
Hey everybody, I actually saw Godzilla for the first time last night and in AMC Prime seats, which was very cool. It was my first time.
And we also have the director of the upcoming film, The Death of Superman Lives. What happened, Mr. John Schnepp?
Hey, and I saw it on my birthday. Man, well, actually, today's my birthday, but like
Yes,
Godzilla
I wanted
came into the Schneppzilla day. So
I
what's
want to
up?
mention happy birthday to John Schnepp. It's his birthday today, and he's here talking movies.
Still alive.
All right, guys, it's an all mailbag show today. So we're going to start off with Peter Zasser, who writes, what are your thoughts on the recent Viggo Mortensen interview where he called the Lord of the Rings trilogy, especially The Two Towers and ROTK, sloppy, and went on to comment further on how messy they were? It's kind of surprising to hear something like that from him. I reckon the Lord of the Rings films were really a cinematic achievement. With these comments, have your perceptions of the Lord of the Rings changed?
To be really honest, my perception of the Lord of the Rings films has not changed. My perception of Viggo Mortensen has changed. Shut up. Shut up. Look, Viggo Mortensen has been a working actor for a long time before Lord of the Rings. How many of you knew the name Viggo Mortensen before Lord of the Rings?
Nope.
Nobody did. Nobody knew who you are. Yeah, you went on to do these amazing things like A History of Violence, the one with History of Violence. What was the one with the Russian mob again, where he was the hitman, the former hitman of the Russian mob?
I know what you're saying. The Cronenberg film.
Yeah, he's done several really great films since Lord of the Rings. You got those films because now the public knew you from Lord of the Rings. And there's just something. There's two sides of this coin, right? There's the side of, hey, you know, it's kind of refreshing hearing an actor being honest, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get that. But then there's a side of biting the hand that fed you and being really disrespectful to the people who are responsible for giving you the career that you have today, the people responsible for making your name recognizable, and then going back and biting the hand and spitting in the face of people who love this thing. Hey, you called the third one a real mess? Set the record for 11 Oscars. No other film in Oscar history has won more than Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. So you're spitting in the face of the people who gave you your career. You're spitting in the face of the fan base who love this thing dearly. Look, if you really feel that you don't like it, that's fine, that's cool. But to come out and be so insulting and so disrespectful, no, my opinion of Lord of the Rings hasn't changed. My opinion of Viggo Mortensen has. And look, let me make this really clear. Viggo Mortensen just did a real dick thing. You have done a dick thing this week. That doesn't mean you're a dick. Everybody at this table this week at some point has done a pretty dick thing. That does not mean we're dicks. We all do dick things. I don't think Viggo Mortensen is a big jerk, but this was a pretty jerky thing to do, which we all do sometimes, but I'm disappointed in the comments. Schnepp, you read them. What did you think?
Well, I read the comments, but I didn't see the context of where the article was, so I didn't actually get a chance to read the article. Was that in the context of what he was talking about? He still came off like that?
Yeah, I read the article and it was like, oh, that's really good, because he says, yeah, then they got worse and worse, and Peter Jackson forgot how to direct, and he just became totally reliant on visual effects, and don't even get me started on the Hobbit films.
Here's the thing.
Like, he used the word, they're a mess, and
like
things like that.
Ewan McGregor was pretty outspoken about the prequels.
Yeah, but he was
not only was he right, but he said it pretty much like a year into them shooting. Like when they were shooting the very last prequel, it was like kind of saying how he was disappointed with them and they didn't come out the way he was. Not that.
See, that's
proud
not what
of
I
them.
read at all.
Yeah?
I read something very different. I read that he was kind of disappointed with how they were being received and stuff like that. But like in talking to people who were on set with them, they say he loved the character of Obi-Wan.
No. I mean, on set, sure, but like, I'm talking about afterwards.
Right.
I
I heard that he was disappointed with how they were received. I hadn't read that he hated the movies.
There's like, I mean, if you Google it, you could
yeah,
find like
maybe they'll be there.
But everyone says some sour things once in a while.
Absolutely.
But this definitely is like, I don't really understand where it's coming from. Like it's, what
Why
is
would
it,
he
12,
say it?
13 years later?
Yeah.
I mean, 14 years
Well,
later?
I didn't get to read the whole article, but I read some of maybe the context. From what I got from it was he meant that the second and third films were messy after they were done shooting them, and that they had to go back and do reshoots in order to plug in and fix all the holes.
Well, that's true too, but he complains about Peter Jackson.
Well, he complains about Peter Jackson, complains about the reliance on CG and stuff. That is definitely for today, but I think in terms of the second, third movie, I think it was more in the context of, those are huge movies. By the end of them, there's definitely going to be a lot of things that you're going to need to fix.
Right.
Because it's just too
I don't
complicated.
understand like sour grapes after eating all of the grapes. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So
that's a great hashtag. Hashtag sour grapes after eating all the grapes. It's a long hashtag, but it's a good one. Miri, what did you think?
I agree. I don't understand why he would say what he said. I don't, to your point about context, I don't even understand why he would go there after so many years. I love these films. I loved the books growing up, and I thought they were so beautifully done, all of them.
Yeah.
And it's really hard, like you were saying, to create a trilogy based on such rich mythology and make it work in a film format. And it kind of broke my heart a little bit reading it. Not so much just about Viggo falling from grace as he did for you, but for me just hearing somebody say such mean things about films I love. These are films I love, and I think I disagree with him. I think he's wrong. I think they don't appear to be a mess to me, and I've watched them over and over again in all their formats, director's cut and box sets and all that stuff. So I was just kind of bummed. It was a bummer to read it.
And let's be clear, he's ridiculously talented. He's such a good actor. I'll watch him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I'll watch him in a laundry commercial. Like, seriously, he's that good. I love him. I think he's fantastic.
Why does he hate on my movie?
Yeah, and I'm biting the hand that feeds you. I don't know. All right, let's go on to the next question.
Matt Borden writes, with the talk of many characters from the X-Men universe getting one-off movies, will we see a Rogue standalone? This character has been butchered in the last two X-Men movies. She was so much more than a love interest in the comic. What do you think about some form of a Miss Marvel storyline where Rogue finally gets the rest of her powers? I'd love to see her join Mystique for a movie and be bad.
Nah, never happened. She's simply not a popular enough character. Either in the comics, and there are those of us who love the Rogue character. Remember, the Rogue we saw in the movies is very different from the Rogue a lot of us know and love, because a lot of us, when I started reading X-Men comics, Rogue already had all those powers. She already had flight, super strength, and vulnerability, all that. So she's a badass chick.
She's still in her green outfit?
Yeah, she still had the green outfit. And then I got into Age of Apocalypse when her and Magneto were actually popping out babies together, which is kind of weird age thing, but whatever. But those are the ones we know. But even then, outside of the core comic book nerds, now that we've got, everybody knows the X-Men because of the movies. But she was such a minor character the way she was played in it, and she almost felt to me in the movies more like a Jubilee character.
She was, because they introduced her as Wolverine's kind of sidekick.
Yes.
And kind of the ship has sailed already, because in the comic books, she's supposed to be adopted by Mystique and raised as a villain, and all that stuff is gone. Now she's dating Iceman in the movie, where she's supposed to be Gambit's love interest. So I think all of the stuff that he's talking about, it's not possible.
Schnepp?
Could she be in the new Gambit movie? Oh,
maybe.
Maybe. Who knows? Anna Paquin's, she's done with True Blood, so her schedule's open.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that you're not going to see her again play the character.
Oh, I agree. I just don't think we're going to see a Rogue movie.
Yeah, I doubt there'll be a Rogue movie. But hey, I didn't think there was going to be a Gambit movie, so you never say never.
Right. Mary?
I was never familiar with Rogue growing up. I wasn't an X-Men reader or anything, but just in the films, I never loved her as a female character, and I felt like she wasn't. And I only have the films to go by really with this character, so I just never really felt like she had that much gravitas to hold her own film. But like you said, anything is possible. I would not mind seeing a Mystique Rogue thing that you were mentioning.
Yeah, that's
that would be kind of cool.
In the comic book world, there should be a Storm movie. Storm actually led the X-Men. I mean, we've talked a lot about how Cyclops' role in the movies was somewhat diminished and took second fiddle to Wolverine, but I think most of the women characters in all the X-Men movies have been diminished until First Class, where Mystique kind of rose up.
Well, Phoenix was, Jean Grey was kind of a big deal.
But she was treated weak. She was I'm saying the characterizations of women in the movies have always been weaker than what they are in the comic books. So, if it was the reverse, you would have already seen the Storm movie, because she was she was the leader of the X-Men for years.
Right.
So.
And you know what? Her love story with Black Panther is actually. I don't really like the love stories in most comics.
Right.
Obviously, you got your iconic Scott and Jean and all that kind of stuff, but the story with actually Storm and Black Panther is actually pretty cool.
It kind of made sense.
Yeah, it did. All right, what's next?
Lin Min K writes, love your show. With all the heavy marketing that comes with major Hollywood movies, I'm wondering what films have you gone to see in theaters without seeing any trailers prior? Is this even possible these days?
I've never done it, and it is really hard these days, especially in our line of work, because we were watching new trailers and stuff like that. But I honestly would never want to. To me, it's like going into Walmart, seeing a box that's just a white box that says "fun" inside. $23. I know nothing about this. Okay.
Trust me. Yeah.
There, I have no idea what's in this box. Here, take my money, I'll go watch it. To me, it doesn't make any sense.
But there are other ways to find out about a movie than watching a trailer, right?
Well, that's true too,
You could read a synopsis or... I mean,
okay, yes. In that case, you've just totally defeated my argument. I concede to your point.
I argue that argument though because this is visual.
You're right.
You cannot
You're right.
I've read
You're right.
plenty of synopsises for crap films that sucked. It's like this promises to be the most amazing thing. Wait a second, it says trauma. No, there's amazing trauma movies. Mark my words. I'm just saying there's levels of quality that you cannot tell from a written synopsis.
My issue with trailers is that there's too many of them and they give away too much. So when I'm reviewing a film, I try actually to not watch trailers as much as I can, but like this person said in his question, or her question, it was very well said that it's almost impossible these days. So I feel like it's become part of the movie-going experience. The trailer and then measuring the trailer to the feature has become like part of this conversation we have about film when we go see a movie. It's, well, the trailer didn't really tell me that this was the kind of movie I was going to be seeing. So I think you're right in a way that it's really intrinsic. It's like they're so connected. They're so combined, the two. So
I think for us though, I mean, we have to, in our circle of peers, we're used to that. But the casual movie-going audience, it's possible for them not to watch trailers or see commercials, and I've seen a lot of people, oh, what's that movie about? And it's like some huge movie.
Yeah.
I bet you some people didn't even know Godzilla was coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, they have another Godzilla movie. Cool.
Right.
It just happens. I mean, we're so entrenched in this industry that we think, oh, everyone knows, but they don't. So, but I do think trailers are the best indication of whether a movie is going to be, you can
for
get
you
the,
or not.
Yeah, you can get the tone of it and the actors and all that.
And I love trailers. I personally love seeing
I could watch
trailers.
a whole day of trailers.
I sometimes do watch like an hour of trailers. It's like, I haven't seen trailers in a while. There's like 40 new ones. That's exciting and fun.
And when they're good, it's like an art form unto itself. Like we were just watching the
Interstellar,
and I was like weeping. I was crying. I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm satisfied. I actually don't need to see the movie now.
I was just saying, Ray Ora from the chat board, whenever he comes over to my place, the first thing he does is he pops on my Roku and he goes to the trailer channel, just hits play, and just lets trailers run for like an hour and an hour. I just want to bring this up though. Adorable Dictator in the chat board said, "I would buy the box." What's wrong with you, John? Don't you like fun? It's pretty cool. And actually, before we get to the next question, then we should probably address, since it just came out, the new Interstellar trailer just dropped. It's I was like, okay, that first trailer was fine for a tease. Didn't tell us anything at all, and on its own, it wouldn't have got me interested in the film if it wasn't for Matthew McConaughey and Christopher Nolan's
stock footage, just stock footage.
And corn.
This one gives us an idea of what the story is. This one actually tells us here's the gist and stuff like that. So, Schnepp, what did you think of the trailer of Interstellar?
I got to see it in IMAX in front of Godzilla, and I thought it was beautiful. And it didn't ruin anything for the movie. This is like, to me, what a perfect trailer is. It's a tease. It tells you what the movie's about. It sets certain things up. The movie's only 2 hours. It's not like a television series where they have all these hours to get into the characters. So movies have to go to a certain formula sometimes. They have to introduce things in a certain way. Watching this trailer made me really confident in not only seeing this as a true great science fiction film, but it felt somewhat inspired, like something to look forward to. Like its whole premise is that we are not supposed to be on this planet anymore. We're born to seed the universe, go out into the stars. And that's something beautiful to hear about, like even from Carl Sagan's perspective. A lot of these truths of science come out, and that's really emotional to me. So seeing that trailer was an emotional experience. So I'm really, if I wasn't looking forward to the cocaine explosion volcano, now I'm really looking forward to this movie. So
what do you guys think?
I mean, I really liked it. I agree with you. It's cool because they don't give away too much about it. You get the basic premise, but they don't give away the movie. What I'm wondering is, I think I'm really looking forward to it. I think you guys probably will. I don't know if the casual Chris Nolan fan is going to be like, that excited when the movie comes out. Maybe they're going to be excited because it's Chris Nolan's name, but when they actually see it, this is more of a, he probably won't go as far as this, but this is like a Kubrick's 2001, Aronofsky's The Fountain style movie for him. That's my guess. And I have a feeling that it's not going to have all the action or the kind of thriller-esque stuff that we're used to from Nolan, and I think that could backfire on him when the casual fans see
I love the casual Nolan.
Is there such thing as a
I know,
casual Nolan fan?
but there's fans of Nolan's that are not.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
They might expect an Inception or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think I'm so excited for this. Speaking to trailers, this trailer made me have faith again. I don't know how to describe it. I just watched it and had like a religious experience.
We watched her watch it. She started almost crying.
I actually I held back the tears. I was manning up for you guys, but I thought it was beautiful. I think it has that signature Nolan aesthetic that's atmospheric and dreamlike and beautiful while still being very rooted in something earthy and visceral that you feel like you're a part of. It's very immediate. And also, Matthew McConaughey I find to be so captivating as an actor. I feel like everything he does is one step towards more greatness in his performance. And even in this trailer, he just eats up the screen. He chews up the scenery. Like he has so much weight and presence on screen. And I'm excited to see this. And I love Michael Caine. And even the child actress seemed great. I feel like this whole thing looks beautiful, and I can't wait to see it.
See, I disagree. I think it's a good trailer. I think it's a good trailer.
Yeah.
If I saw that trailer, I go, I'm interested in this movie. But as a big fan of Christopher Nolan, I have to admit that part of the reason why I'm jumping up and down about seeing the trailer is because I know Christopher Nolan's name's on it. I really do think a lot of people's reactions would be different if it said Interstellar and you see the trailer, a film by Brett Ratner. Wow. I think people.
I would be blown away if
I honestly think people's perceptions of the trailer would be radically
Mm.
changed. I think looking at the exact same trailer, I don't know. I looked at the trailer thinking it's okay. It's okay. It makes me interested. It's okay. Knowing Christopher Nolan's attached to it. Oh, damn, I'm really excited about it, but I just have a feeling that if it was like by Brett Ratner, I think...
McConaughey with a little baby lion on his head.
I think we would all look at this trailer a little bit different. I don't think the trailer's that great.
It would blow my
in and of its
mind.
own.
If it said Brett Ratner, I would honestly, I think it would be the end of days. I'd be like, oh my God, this is an
I might have
apocalyptic...
to climb to the tallest building and kill myself. I'd be like, this is impossible. Time does not exist. Jump. Down.
All right, we got a few more.
Imploding.
We got a few more questions we got to get to. Chrisley, what do we got?
Devin Singletary writes, "Hey movie talkers, love the show. My question was regarding script writers. Does a screenwriter write out every word and scene for a movie, or do they make an outline and make up, change up, and script as they go along with the movie?"
No, there's some people have this perception that that the filmmakers and actors just show up on set and they kind of make up the movies that go along. No. For the most part, they take the script, which even says which way the actor turns their head. I mean, the script is the Bible of a film. Now, of course, sometimes on movie sets, the director will say, "Hey, try this again," or the actor might want, because they'll do like 20 takes of a scene, and they'll have the actor ad-lib a couple of things, and those things will work in absolutely. But for the most part, it follows a script. Schnepp, you're a director. Like, how does it usually work out?
Yeah, usually, I mean, if we'll do a script read, and we'll like work out, like if the actor's like, "Hey, I'd like to say it like this," they'll change it so it fits their vibe and their character better. But yeah, usually we stick to the script, and then if they want to try something, we'll either talk about it before we start shooting, or if somebody, either me or the actor, I'm always open to any ideas. If somebody says, "Hey, we want try it like this, maybe, play it straighter," or like, "Hey, what if he came in like laughing," or certain things that if they feed off the script and feed off the scene, I'm totally into that. So yeah, improvisation is a great key. I know Adam McKay improvs almost. They have the script, and that's just like a working thing to explode off of.
But that's the rare exception.
That's the rare exception. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like, no, can you please read the actual line from the dialogue, the script, because that feeds in, and that also informs the later scenes that are 20 minutes later. Usually that's how it is. It's all a puzzle. So you can't just be like, let me just say whatever I want, because then all these other scenes disappear and fall apart.
Well, it depends on the type of project too. You have comedies like that where improv is there's more room for it, and then you have like Alfred Hitchcock never let anyone improv ever because, like you said, it was so specific. Each scene led into the next, and I think it depends on the project really.
Yeah, mostly it's on the page, but comedies, especially. I don't know if you guys watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, like that. He just has an outline, and they improv the entire thing. They know where they need to go, but everything's improv. But that's a rare exception.
And that's TV, so there's a little more room.
All right, what's next?
Farah Cheeseman writes, love you guys. Thanks for my daily injection of humor. I know I'm probably a little late to the party on this news, but I recently read that Guillermo del Toro doing an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. Any news on the status of this project? Is it greenlit? Is Emma Watson officially Belle?
This news came out about almost a year ago exactly, actually. Del Toro was going to do a movie called Beast, which was going to be based on the Beauty and the Beast storyline, and it got reported that Emma Watson was going to do it, and that she chose doing that over a Cinderella project of some kind that is coming out. However, it's been a year and we've heard nothing. I looked on his... on the IMDb Pro page about it, and still I've seen no development whatsoever. So this might just be sitting on the shelf for now. Have you guys heard anything different?
No.
No, I think this is one of the 48 projects that Del Toro is currently in development with it. I mean, like, but right now he's currently shooting that like Blood Mansion, or what is it called? Like
Something Mountain.
he's not doing Mountains of Madness. He's not doing that yet. The Lovecraft.
He has a million projects.
He's doing that one with Benedict Cumberbatch right now, right?
Yeah, it's like Fever Mountain or something.
Yeah,
I can't remember what it is.
I think it's Schnepp Mountain.
Yeah, Schnepp Mountain. No, but it's something he's already shooting that, so that's exciting to hear. But I don't think the Beauty and the Beast thing will ever happen.
His name's everywhere. He's probably producing this show and we don't even know it. He's executive producer.
Del Toro!
Oh, yeah. It's like.
Hey, before we get to the next question, I want to let you know we're going to save a couple of minutes at the end for those of you who are watching us live. If you want to tweet in some live questions, you can tweet to us at AMC Movie News, and Chris Lee will pick out some questions on Twitter then. But for now, let's get back to the mailbag questions.
Marcos Lopez writes, hello AMC, you're all amazing. Why is it that with all the official news flying around regarding the Man of Steel sequel, casting, pictures, etc., why don't we have an official title for such film? Any insight will be appreciated. Thanks, and bring on the filthy.
Mostly because it's still 2 years away. I mean, today, we are literally exactly 2 years away from theoretically the release of Man of Steel 2. It's 2 years away. And
720 something days. What is it?
yeah, so I mean, it's still, and look, it's got a working title per se. We know it as Man of Steel 2. It's not like the unnamed Zack Snyder project. It's Man of Steel 2. A lot of people have been speculating that they're going to go with World's Finest.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I don't think that's a good title for this because
Most people don't know what it is.
You're exactly right. 99% of the people out there have no idea what World's Finest means. Plus, if you've read the World's Finest stuff, this doesn't really sound like it's that at all. So I don't think they're going to go with World's Finest, although I won't complain if they do.
Right.
But I don't think they're going to go with World's Finest. I think ultimately they'll probably land on Man of Steel 2, Batman vs. Superman. That's just my feeling on it. What do you guys think?
I vote for Man of Steel 2. It's really about Batman. Man of Steel 2.
Man of Steel 2. It's really about Batman.
Or just setting up Justice League, something like that.
I want Man of Steel 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I just want Batman versus Robin, or BVS S, or what, something, because that's just iconic right there. That image.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it's like they could that's what it's called, yo. It's like Prince. We're a symbol, son.
Can I throw a name out there? Yeah. Honestly, there's a lot of problems with this. Think about this. Batman in this movie, we already know, is already going to be a seasoned veteran, maybe even coming out of retirement.
That's way too long of a title. Right?
Oh,
wait, that's
not. So what if they did Man of Steel 2, or just Man of Steel, The Dark Knight Returns?
I'm fine with that.
That's cool.
Just thought. Just a thought.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either.
All right, what's next?
George writes, hey AMC crew, I love your show. Can't live without the show other than the Star Wars trilogy. What is your favorite movie trilogy? Bring on the filthy.
You were wise, George. You already knew what I would have said as my number one thing is the Star Wars trilogy. You know, it's funny. I can't remember, Schnepp or Dennis or maybe the three of us, we had this discussion a while ago about when you really think about it, there have been a number of ridiculously good trilogies.
Yeah.
Like, as much as everybody poo-poos Godfather Part 3, remember, it was still nominated for Best Picture of the Year. And take, Little Miss Coppola out of that, and it's still a pretty solid film. The Godfather trilogy is great. Everybody forgets when talking about great trilogies. The Toy Story trilogy is one of the best set of films ever made.
It's a great call.
Then you've got some other really good, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I mean, probably won more Oscars than any trilogy in history.
Right.
There's just a lot of really good ones. What are some of the other great trilogies?
If we could just forget the fourth one, Indiana Jones is a really solid, iconic trilogy.
Yeah,
I mean, if we
that
could
is
just
a trilogy.
Forget, I mean, it is. The first
Back to
one,
the Future.
Back to the Future is great too. I mean, there's so many. For me, The Godfather was the first one I thought of. Indiana Jones and Back to the Future.
And let's not forget Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm not super happy with the final one, but,
Yeah, but as a
still
whole,
overall,
yeah.
that is a ridiculously good trilogy. Let's not forget Big Mama's House.
Matrix. Now we start to get into
Twilight.
Aliens.
Come on! You have the cup, John. You have the cup.
That was a quadrilogy. But no,
A 9 trilogy. How many were there? 8?
there are a bunch of really, really good ones. And
I always think of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
besides Star Wars, Lord of the Rings is the other one.
But you know, I think of trilogies, and then I just don't count the third or the second and third one. Even though, like, I always think of Alien. There's like 4 or 5 of them,
Yeah.
but I just
But
think
the
of the
first
first
three.
2.
Right.
Well, not the third one.
yeah, I don't
Third
really
one.
think of Alien.
The Prison
as a
Planet,
trilogy.
like even the
Yeah.
director's cut, where they're like, "Well, we added more
Fincher,
prisoners."
And
It's
there
like,
were so many problems with that film too. You know, Fincher was so angry, and there was all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
But seriously, think about the
You don't want
Toy
an
Story
angry
one
Fincher.
for a second.
Well, that was before Fincher was Fincher.
yeah,
Yeah.
they were giving him trouble.
Exactly.
Still looks like a Fincher movie though. When you watch it, you're like, oh yeah.
But Toy Story, like, think about it. All 3 of them are all absolute A++
They are.
movies.
What a
Number
great
1
call.
is A++, number 2 is A++, number
And
3 is A++.
3 is like my favorite. of
Yeah,
the
3
of
is-
them.
the
3
best
makes
one.
you cry.
And don't forget this, number 2, they weren't even going to release number 2 in theaters. The
Wow.
original
Yeah,
plan for Toy Story 2 was to do a direct-to-home video sequel. And then at some point they were like, you know, this turned out pretty good. and it became a theatrical release.
Millions. Yeah, it's just like a pile of money. They're all sitting on it. This is weird. How much money we're sitting on. Yeah.
All right, folks, we now said we were going to leave a few minutes at the end of the show for taking some Twitter questions, and we're going to do just that. Crystal Lee is monitoring the Twitter stream. She is our gatekeeper. So, Crystal Lee, what are people asking in Twitter?
Your God would like to know if we'll ever see a Gremlins reboot or remake.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is actively trying to get that moving right now, as a matter of fact. So don't be shocked if before the end of the year, if we hear an announcement about them actually moving forward, getting a director on board, and just being ready to move forward.
I'd love to see a new one.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah, me
actually
too.
be okay with that.
But it would be a reboot, not a sequel.
Yeah,
Dennis,
a
have you heard
reboot.
anything different?
No, but I expect something. It's a brand name that people recognize, but yet a lot of young people haven't seen the original,
Yeah.
so they'll do it.
That's a lot of toys you could be selling. The
Exactly.
Mogwai looks like Grumpy Cat.
Yes.
When you
Yes.
think about it, you just
My
throw them
dog
in
looks
water,
like-
you know.
My dog looks like Mogwai a bit.
Really?
Yeah,
I think it's
just a little
important.
bit.
I think when you do the Mogwai, you got to do. I think you got to do a mixture of CG and practical. Don't go all CG.
Right.
So for those
Yeah,
really
for sure.
close-up, intimate moments, go practical, and then for the more actiony stuff
Especially
too.
with fur, you know,
Yeah.
they've mastered it
Because
pretty
Gizmo
much.
is.
But yeah.
Who is cuter than Gizmo?
Yeah.
No
Right.
one.
I mean,
And how many?
Nothing.
And how
No
many
one.
of us had a Gizmo doll? I think there was not a person I knew who didn't have a Gizmo doll or a
And-
Gremlins item. Of
who
some
among us
sort.
at some point has not done a Gizmo impersonation?
Yeah.
I can't.
We've all done it at some point. All right,
not
what's
well.
next?
Not me. Not well.
Brandon Bonilla wants to know, hey guys, do you want to see Runaways in the theaters? Because I do so bad.
Oh yeah. Actually, you know, I'm one of these really rare, lucky guys that I'm actually married to the coolest chick I know in the universe. I don't know anybody on the planet who, aside from maybe James Gunn, that knows more about Guardians of the Galaxy than my wife. I don't know any, but I certainly don't know anybody that knows more about the Runaways than my wife. And she has been like preaching the gospel of the Runaways to me forever, and it's really a fantastic story. And they did have a plan. They were moving forward. They wrote the script. Marvel was ready to move forward with it, and then they kind of changed directions. I would love to see a Runaways, and I wouldn't doubt it if that's still sitting on Kevin Feige's mind. Kevin, Mr. I know I can do anything right now and get away with it, Feige.
Right.
I think we're kind of there. What about you guys?
I would love to see it as a TV series, if not a film. I mean, it would work as either or. But that's definitely one of those like Guardians of the Galaxies, like throw Runaways. It's got all these crazy characters in there. I think it would work. So.
I read the first trade and I liked it. I didn't love it like other people have been saying, but I'd be interested in either or, movie or TV series.
And I'm going to assume you probably don't know much about
I
Guardians.
don't know much about it, but I will say that I think the Marvel universe is so big and so rich with so many characters that it's almost like, what do you not do? Like
Yeah.
it's sort of choosing, like it's parsing away the stuff that they're not going to do. That's probably the bigger challenge because there's so much to choose from. So.
A story like this it's like a different take. You know?
Very different. Yeah, totally different. All right, what's next?
Cedric Evans wants to know, who was the better Catwoman, Anne Hathaway or Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh God.
Oh.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
I'm going to say Michelle Pfeiffer,
Yeah.
but take nothing away from Anne Hathaway's Catwoman. I mean, Dennis and I talk about this all the time, that we thought the one big weakness, before we saw The Dark Knight Rises, we thought the one big glaring weakness was this. As much as we love Anne Hathaway,
Yeah, she's
totally miscast as Catwoman. That's going to be the weak part of the film. She was the best part of that movie. She nailed it. That was a totally different Catwoman than we've ever seen.
I think she nailed the Serena, though, more than
Yeah.
the Catwoman. I think she got the whole character, like the duality of the character, maybe more. And obviously it was on the page, too, because Michelle Pfeiffer was so much campier and whatever.
Yeah.
But as Catwoman, in terms of the energy of Catwoman, Michelle Pfeiffer is like, when she knocks out the neon sign when it says hello there and she makes it hell here, I just, that stuck in my mind as a child, and I was like, I want to do that. I want a bullwhip.
And she did the one thing that we didn't see Anne Hathaway do. Michelle Pfeiffer brought out the seductress of Catwoman too, and
Yes.
Anne Hathaway didn't really get that aspect to the
But
character.
she
What do
wore
you
the
guys
cute
think?
little ears.
Oh yeah, you look great.
And she even like did the cat like licky lick thing.
Oh, yeah.
You do that so well.
Yeah, I picked Michelle Pfeiffer myself, but yeah, I was with you guys. I was like, I can't believe they're throwing Catwoman into the Batman. It's going to ruin it. Why not just Chuck Robin in there? Then I saw it. I was like, wow, she was one of the better parts
She's a
of The
great
Dark Knight
actress.
Rises. All of her scenes were really fun. And whenever she was on screen with Batman, even, it was like, oh, the whole movie's alive. And it's all. And then when she wasn't, it was like, oh.
All right, let's take two more.
Eric Tish wants to know, who's going to win the box office this weekend? $1 Million Arm, Godzilla, or Neighbors?
Not even close.
Silliest question of the day.
Come on.
Godzilla is going to win. You could handicap Godzilla. Okay, look, if you want to handicap Godzilla 30 million, handicap Godzilla 30 million, then I think that's an interesting question between it and Neighbors, because I think Neighbors is going to have big second week legs because of the positive word of mouth. If you handicap Godzilla by 30 million, interesting question. But without that $30 million handicap, it's Godzilla. Do you guys see it any other way?
No.
I think it's going to be
Not
number
even
one.
close.
Schnapp?
Godzilla stomping giant, like probably $150 million imprint is my guess.
I'm going to guess 90.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm going to guess 90.
I think
what-
under 100, but close to 100.
Dennis?
Close to 100, maybe a little over, if possible.
All right. Last question of the day.
Mark Nevitt wants to know if we'll ever see a Wicked movie.
Wicket?
Wicked.
Wicked like the
Oh,
play?
Wicked. As in,
Wicked.
I heard
as in the
Ewok. Yeah,
Wicked, the Ewok movie?
Oh,
I was
man.
like, that would be awesome. I would do that. Hey, by the way, check out, just as a little plug, look on YouTube, search John Campia, Screw You, I Love the Ewoks, for my passionate dissertation about why the Ewoks deserve a hell of a lot more respect. But anyway, a Wicked movie, I have no doubt.
Yeah, for
No
sure.
doubt.
I don't see why they wouldn't
I
do
believe
it.
there's something already in development, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I don't know anything about it, but I can't imagine if Book of Mormon is going to film, then why wouldn't Wicked? I mean, it's had such a long run. It's been so successful. People of all ages love it.
But we all agree Adele Dazeem has to star in it, right? It has to star Adele Dazeem.
And John Travolta
And John
That would be
Travolta at the
amazing.
same time.
as the Wicked.
That
Witch.
would also be an end of days scenario.
That's right.
The world would explode.
Everything's melted. Wicked just came out. Might as well kill myself.
All right, folks, that'll do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us for this Friday, end of the week installment of AMC Movie Talk, kind of an all-question episode today. Hey, just so you know, we're actually going to go from here over to our AMC Burbank 16 studio to film our spoilers review for Godzilla, so watch for that online a little bit later. And I want to let you know, too, AMC Top 5 is going to be online tomorrow. So listen, if you look in the description of this video, you'll find a link to where you can go and vote for what you think the top stories of the week were. You're going to see a list of 10 of them. We want you to pick 3, and then you can see the results on AMC Top 5 tomorrow as we count down what you vote as the top 5 news stories of the week. Don't forget, folks, lots of great films playing in AMC theaters right now, including Neighbors, including $1 Million Arm, including Godzilla. Head on over to www.amctheaters.com for your theater, showtime, and movie ticket information. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to our YouTube channel. And if you want an audio-only version of this episode, look in the description of this video. You'll find links to our iTunes so you can listen to AMC Movie Talk, AMC Mailbag, our new show Jedi Council. We put a lot of our shows in our iTunes feed now so you can listen to us on the way to work. I want to thank the people sitting at the table with me. First of all, sitting to my left, Mr. Dennis Zen. Dennis, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter @ThinkHero and on YouTube ThinkHero Pro.
Or possibly on jury duty tomorrow. Sitting to my right, Miss Miri Jedikin. Miri, where can people find you?
People can find me Twitter, Instagram @MiriTheJedi. That's me.
And right beside her, the birthday man, Dr. Fun himself, Mr. John Schnepp. Schnepp, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me at Twitter and Instagram @John Schnepp. Wakanda! I love, like, sometimes we nerd out and, like, I forget some people don't know, like, if we're, like, talking deep comic stuff.
Right.
It's like, yeah, Black Panther, obviously Storm married him, and then it was like, well, hang on a second, you know?
We're talking about the comics.
You know, so.
The rogue with the green outfit. Yes, I was reading it before.
Yeah, whatever. So.
And of course, our gatekeeper today, the lovely host, Miss Chrisley Kennedy. Chrisley, where can people find you online?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Chrisley.
And you can find me on the various social media channels just at John Campea. Thanks a lot for joining us, guys. My name's John Campea for AMC Movie Talk, and until next time, bye-bye.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.